All right, welcome to this training on Pinterest marketing tips for beginners. We're going to talk about how to start growing your business on Pinterest, even if you're brand new. All right, so that is something we're going to dive into. So maybe you are someone, if you've ever thought to yourself about getting your business on Pinterest, but you're not sure exactly where to start, this training is for you. Maybe you've heard of Pinterest. Maybe you've thought about using Pinterest, but you've always kind of pushed it off to the side, thinking, I'll get to it someday. There's too much it's too different of a platform to figure out. It's quite overwhelming. I'm not sure where to start. I'm going to dive into a few key things you can do right now, today, to get started on Pinterest and eliminate the overwhelm for you. Okay, so maybe you're already creating content for your business. Okay, whether that is social media, you're maybe have a podcast, you're on YouTube, you're creating a blog, you've got or articles, you've got content that you're already creating in your business. And maybe you would like that content to go further. Maybe Pinterest itself sounds like a great platform, especially if it's something that can bring you more traffic and leads on autopilot without you having to go create a whole bunch more of content for it, but you just don't have any idea how to get started. So let's say, for example, you're an expert in the health and wellness space. You're a coach, you have some products that your business sells or that you're affiliated with, and you've done everything on social media. You've got an audience, you've started building on social media. You're really that's where you've been focusing your marketing efforts. Maybe you've started recently doing more long form content for your business. Maybe it's a blog. Maybe you're YouTubing, you're on podcasting, you're writing, like I said, articles. You're putting some more emphasis into that long form content that builds your authority. But at the same time, you're feeling stuck with the traction that you're getting on social media, especially with that content. And Pinterest is on your radar. Maybe it's this quarter, this month, right now, and that's kind of something that you're wanting to explore a little bit more. But here is why Pinterest itself, it can really help to boost and amplify the visibility that you're getting from the content that you already have. So I've talked about social media a little bit where, maybe you're working marketing on Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn on those key social media platforms. Pinterest itself is not social media. It is a search engine. So when you start to leverage the content you already have on that platform, you're actually connecting with people who are actively searching for solutions to a problem, actually a problem that you already solve, and you're meeting them where they're at. You're meeting people who are actively looking for your solution. And so that search engine brings you targeted traffic to your website, to your funnels, to your offers, to your calls to action, simply by leveraging what you're already doing. So because, another big reason why to be on Pinterest is because you also want to think about how this can help you diversify and expand your marketing efforts. Again, while maximizing the content that you're already creating. So if this is you and you're already in that content creation, you've got that kind of on lock, you already have the content going out there, or you're really starting to put more of an effort into that long form content, here's what I will have you do. The first three things that I'll have you ask yourself in order to get started with Pinterest in your business. And that's what we're going to dive into in this training today. All right. So if you're joining me and you're completely new to me, I want to welcome you to this training. If we have not yet met, my name is Jen Dice. I am a physical therapist turned Pinterest marketing agency owner, and I'm a Pinterest marketing and content strategist, helping women in business to leverage their knowledge and content to generate more traffic, leads, and sales using Pinterest. All right, so what are we talking about today? We're diving into Pinterest marketing tips for beginners, helping you start growing your business on Pinterest, even if you're brand new. So let's break this down. What are the three things I want you to consider, or these three tips to get started with Pinterest? So the first question that if we were going to sit down and chat a little bit more about your business is I would ask you, what are people searching for as it relates to your business, your offer, and your services? So this is a key question. This is one of the first questions that I'll have you ask yourself, but this is what I ask my clients when I first sit down to work with them through, for example, like a strategy session to get their Pinterest strategy set and customized to their business. So what are people searching for as it relates to your business? your offers and your services. So your products or services, what are they searching for? Well, and why is this important? So asking yourself this question is important because this helps you to see, number one, if your people are on Pinterest, and number two, what they're searching for. And I will say, one of the other questions I get asked all the time is Pinterest the right platform for my business? And because we tend to think that Pinterest is just for recipes and home decor and vacation planning. And it's for so much more than that. And I will just say that for those businesses that are in those industries, there are actual businesses on the other side of those pins that you're finding and putting on your Pinterest boards as you're redesigning your home, things like that. There's businesses on the other side of those pins. But Pinterest, it is exactly the platform for businesses even outside of those niches that we tend to think that are, it's not just for recipes. You as a business owner, even if you are a coach, even if you do business to business, if you're e-commerce, if you have products to sell, if you affiliate with other products, if you are a service provider, there is a niche for you on Pinterest. And that's why when you start with this question, by asking what are people searching for as it relates to your business and what you have to offer, it really helps to see what people are searching for. It helps you to kind of think to yourself, well, if my target client is to open up their Pinterest app on their phone and start looking for something similar to the solution that I provide for my business, the problem that I solve, that can give you insight as to what exactly they're searching for. And when you know what they're searching for, it really helps you to tailor some of the content that you're creating and some of the keywords and it helps you to tailor the strategy that you're then going to use on Pinterest. So that's the first question I want you to ask yourself. So just kind of think of this first step as it's like you're doing research before you go on a trip, before you take a vacation somewhere that you've never been before. The information that you gather before you take that trip, number one, it tells you, how am I going to approach traveling to this destination? How are we going to get there? What are we going to need? What's that bigger plan? So when you're doing some of this research on the front end, it really helps you to gather that information to put the pieces together. So that's kind of what this is. It's helping us to just pull some of those initial pieces out. And from that, we're going to put those pieces together. So that's that first question. The second question I would have you ask yourself, and this is what I would ask the client, is what is your plan for long-term content creation? Okay, there's a reason I am absolutely asking this. And this is an important question to answer for yourself because as much as social media content helps your marketing, when it comes to Pinterest, your content gold is in your long form content. So not just what you're posting on Instagram. That's not long form content, but it's the blogs that you're writing, the podcasts that you're creating, the YouTube videos. That longer form value-based content is what people are seeing. Could you repurpose an Instagram post, a LinkedIn post, a Facebook post into a piece of long form content like a blog or an article or something along those lines? Absolutely. But I want you to kind of think along the lines of what is that plan for your long form content creation? Specifically content that answers the questions and gives value based on what your audience is searching for. So remember in question one, I had you think about what your people are searching for. Like, what are they searching for? And then now we're kind of considering what's our plan for creating that long form content. And so if you're already creating long form content, if you're already blogging, if you already have a YouTube channel, if you're already podcasting, this just will help you shift how you're creating content for your upcoming posts, blog posts, YouTube videos, or podcast episodes going forward because you can tailor what you're creating based on what people are searching for. It's going to give you more fresh content ideas to plug into the channel that you're already creating through. And it's going to help you create a plan that also fills in the gap and meets the people where they're at on the search engine, on the platform. So that is how, when you create the content that answers the questions what people are searching for, that's how you become relevant to them. And that's how you show up in the search while they're actively searching for you for the solution that you provide. So I want you to think of this kind of like, we talked about going on the trip and you're doing that initial research. So think of this as kind of like you're making sure you have the right things prepared before you're leaving on that trip. So if you're going to go take a Caribbean cruise, that's a different travel plan than if you're going to take a cross country road trip. So you need different supplies. You need to pack differently. You need to prepare differently for those two different trips. So that's why when you're starting to look at your content plan for the future, that just helps you to prepare for that end result, for that destination. So that's that second question. The third question I want you to ask for yourself, and this is what I would ask your client, or ask you if you were a client and we were sitting down for a strategy session, is where do you plan to send your Pinterest traffic? Okay, so this is important because when you know where you're gonna send your Pinterest traffic from Pinterest, and I want you to think end game, all roads lead to where or what, you can better leverage the platform to ensure that you're not wasting your time. So think about your current funnels, your freebies, your offers, your products, your services, because we're not just, again, leveraging Pinterest and putting the pins up on Pinterest just to put stuff out there, just to check the box. We're thinking the end result. So if your goals are to grow an email list, if your goals are for sales on the back end, if your goals are for, building more visibility, or if your goals are for, you know, maybe more people ultimately down the funnel a little bit into a higher ticket offer, that's where I want you to think of, because then you're going to reverse engineer what you're doing from the content you're creating, from to the value, the search terms you want to be found for on Pinterest. It really helps you to figure out and reverse engineer the strategy from there when you think in terms of this is where I want that traffic to go. And this is why I want that traffic to go there, because this is the goal that I have for that traffic from Pinterest. So again, think of this kind of like, again, with our travel and our vacation planning. This is a way that you can ensure that the experience you get and the memories you create on your trip, on that vacation at your destination, are what you were hoping for. So again, when you're looking at vacation planning and travel planning, and let's say you're looking at that cruise or you're looking at that road trip, that road trip is going to lead somewhere, or the road trip itself has different points along the way. But when you get in your head of what that end result looks like, what that destination looks like, it helps you to, again, reverse engineer the content that you're creating. So what you're going to be talking about in your blogs and your podcasts and your YouTube videos, and then how that content will line up with what people are searching for. And again, that's going to help you to hone in on, do I want to focus on people who are just at the very beginning of their discovery journey into figuring out how to solve their problem? Or do I want to target those keywords on Pinterest that are going to be focused more on the people that are ready to take action and solve their problem now? They're further along in the buying journey. So all of these, and not to say that any one part of the buying journey and the keywords you're using on Pinterest is some are good or better than others. It's just figuring out how you can plug in the right content with the right keywords. So you show up and you are like relevant and people are ready to take action with you, depending on where they're at in the buying journey. And that's as simple as it is. This helps you just to reverse engineer all of this. So just to recap, if you are looking at getting started on Pinterest marketing tips for beginners, and you're brand new to this, or maybe you've just started to dive into this, here are the 3 things I want you to ask yourself to get started. 3 tips, 3 questions. Question number 1, what are people searching for on Pinterest as it relates to your business, your offers, your products, your services? That's question number 1. Question number 2 is, what is your plan for long form content creation? Not social media content creation. I'm not asking you what you're going to be doing on Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn. What is your long form content plan? What do you have in the works for blog post creation, for YouTube creation, for podcast creation, for that longer form content? Unless you have you're more e-commerce based and you have digital products, and that's a whole different training too. So that's that second question is what's your plan for long form content creation? And question number 3 is where do you plan to send all of that Pinterest traffic? And because that's going to help you figure out what the end result is. And that's how you can track the results that you're getting from Pinterest. All right. So I want to thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope this was helpful. And for those of you who want to dive deeper into getting started on Pinterest, make sure you grab my free Pinterest Kickstart guide. I will drop the link below here so you can grab it now, and it will walk you through just how to get started and how to get set up on Pinterest. Just a couple of quick and easy steps for you. All right. So thank you again so much for joining me, and I will catch you guys next time. All right. Bye, everyone.